Do I? Okay. What's It's been 1 minute though. Yeah. Hello. I need to be sure that they can hear me. Can you hear me? Please, if you can hear me, let me type something in the dashboard. Can you hear me? Hey, please, can you log into my live? Yeah. Oh, let me do that now. Okay, that's great. Okay, treasure. So which one am I connecting to? I'm not saying the iMOS. It's iPhone I'm saying. Mm. You all are welcome. Ijeoma says she can't hear me. Can you hear me now? I wasn't saying anything, no. But now that I'm talking, can you hear me now? Hope you can hear me now. Okay. No, I did not say we'll have it in all platforms. So if you notice, I wrote TikTok, Telegram, or YouTube. Anyone that works for us, that's the one we're going to use. That's what I mean. The only issue here is that for YouTube, you can't participate, but I can see what you're writing, right? But if it is a Telegram, you can actually talk. You can talk, but you won't be able to write. So I think we can do both. I don't know. We can do both. Let me see if we can do the Telegram as well. Jesus. Chicken. Ah, let me see what is wrong with this baby girl. Bring her cup. Hi, baby. Why are you crying? It's okay. It's okay. Sorry. Yeah. Mm. No, not this one. Okay. Yes. It's okay, my love. Hi, baby. Sorry, careful. Easy, easy. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, baby. Yeah, correct. Don't give her food. Okay, welcome. All right, welcome everyone. Okay, I hope you all can hear me. Um, Telegram is not allowing me to on my camera because my camera is already on YouTube. So you can only see me in one place at a time. I think I understand why. All right. Okay, so let's just dive right in. You can both drop um your questions here on YouTube, and you can drop it in the WhatsApp community as well. Um, Oyeniran says, "Our baby, it is well with Amen. No, it's well. She's okay. She's fine now. She's just crying because she wants her mommy." Okay, so let's dive right in. Please help me drop message on the group. Let them know we are live. They should log in either to TikTok, sorry, either to YouTube or Telegram, anyone that is preferable. The reason why we're using several platforms now is so that it can be easy for a lot of you. So many of you complain of not hearing or seeing or even being able to connect when we're having classes. That is why I decided, okay, today we're going to use plenty options so that everyone, okay, come on. Okay. Like I said, drop it in the WhatsApp. Let them know we're live. Those of you on Telegram, can you hear me? Please, you can unmute yourself and speak.
Loud and clear.
All right.
Loud and clear.
This is beautiful. All right. Welcome everyone once again. You're all welcome. Good evening and happy Sunday to you all.
Same to you, ma.
Okay, so we're just gonna dive right in. So, like our normal um routine, I'm just going to admonish you for a while. First of all, I need you all to know that snail farming is a business, right? It is a business. Most of you know my story, know that I was working when I started snail farming. Okay, I was working in a company before I started snail farming. I was doing it, juggling the both, and like it's not that difficult. But the moment I saw the potentials in it, I decided, okay, let me go full time, and which is what might happen to majority of you along the line. Okay, as we go on, you will just see, let me just go with this. Or maybe when you finally retire, you're like, okay, let me just do this full time, because there is money in it. If there's no money in it, I will not be doing it. If there's no money in it, I won't do it, because me, I like money. I don't know if there's anybody here that does not like money. We're all here because we want to make money out of it. I've only met a handful of people who say they want to go into snail farming for just fun. I've set up a snail farm for someone that was worth about 3.5 million, and he said he just wants it for fun. And then so that it can be eaten from there too. Just one or two, yeah, just one or two persons. But every other person is into it for business, for money. So take it seriously, right? And one thing you need to understand is, when it comes to livestock farming, till tomorrow, till next tomorrow, snail farming is still the cheapest. Majority of you are starting your snail farm with maybe 100,000. You use about 60,000 naira to do hutch box. Then you use maybe another 100,000 to start to buy your snails, buy your feeds, and all of that, and then start. That's, let's say, give or take 200,000 naira. I don't think there's any other livestock farming that is as cheap as that. Not even one. Not one. The last time we were comparing feeds, poultry and fish and snail farming, uh, feeds for chickens right now, 50 kg is about, I think, 65 to 70,000 naira for 50 kg. Somebody will say, it's cheap. Oh, it's not cheap. Oh, that 50 kg, which is like you have 100 chickens, in 3 days that feed is over. Oh. That feed don't finish. You need to buy another one again. But when it comes to snail farming, 50 kg of feed without your 100 snails and even their offsprings, it can carry you up to a year. Somebody say you cannot hear me on YouTube. So anyhow we want to look at it, snail farming is still the cheapest. And then there's another thing you need to understand. 99.9% of you did your trainings online, right? You did your trainings online, and there is something as uh, theory and practical. Okay, we did both theory and practical in the training. Okay, but the real practical begins when you start your farm. That's for a fact. The real practical begins when you start your farm. And trust me, there are so many things that would come up that you did not hear from the training. A lot of things. So there's a lot that still falls down to you that you need to do. Okay? You need to invent things. You need to try out new things. You need to uh, take some risk. Okay? Sometimes it might mean that you would even start afresh. Okay, maybe you didn't get it right the first time, you start afresh again. The good thing is I am always here. Okay, majority of us, in fact, meet any successful snail farmer that is alive now and making money from it. Some of them will tell you they they failed and started again, failed and started again, failed and started again. That's because of the fragile nature of snails, right? They are very, very fragile. Some people will say, but bush snails are not that fragile. Ngwano, when you get your bush snails and you bring them to your farm and they start producing, it's only those parent stock that are bush snails. So, mind you, only those parent stocks are bush snails. The moment they lay eggs and those eggs hatch and give you snails, those ones that they laid and hatch are no longer bush snails. They are now used to life in confinement. So they will become as fragile as any other snail you will buy from a snail farmer. It's only those parent stock that you got from the beginning that will be strong kakaraka. In fact, I think I should use pigeon self. It's just like ajepako and ajebota. Do you understand? Pako can adapt to anywhere, any condition. The butters, any little thing they don't sick, any little thing they don't die. Okay, the snails that we are training are like the butters. The any little thing they die, any little thing they fall sick. So, in order for you to succeed as a snail farmer, it might take you starting afresh. It doesn't mean that you're not doing it right. It is just the business. Do you want to know how many times I have restocked my farm before I got to this point? I will buy. Before you know, they will die to half. I will restock again. They will die to half. I will restock again. Do you know how many times? It's not that easy. It is not that easy. The only good thing is we are a community and you have a mentor that has been in the business for a while. Okay. So you have an advantage than most of us that did not have anybody to hold our hands. Do you understand? I am here to hold your hand does not mean that your snails will not die. I am here to hold your hands does not mean that you will not fail at some point because I am not there with you. Some of you don't even know how to explain your situations to me. Some persons will just come and say, Ma, my snails are dying, oh, and I don't know what to do. I will now ask you, so what and what and what have you been doing? Hey, I've been doing what you taught me now. If you have been doing what I taught you, that means your snails will not be dying the way you are saying they are dying. I remember someone sent me a message, I think early this month, or was it last month? Okay, last month. And she said, Ma, this is somebody who has been sending me messages back to back about our snails dying over and over again. Okay, oh yeah, let's do like this. Oh yeah, let's do like this. Oh yeah, let's do like this. I was just there preferring different solutions, but yet I'm experiencing mortality like that again now. Until one day she just wrote to me and said, Ma, I now know why my snails have been dying. I say, oh, why? It's because I live close to the sea. And you did not tell me for one day that you are around the sea. It is salt water everywhere. And we all know how dangerous sodium is to snails. Even the soil around the sea is filled with salt. So it might even mean that your soil is contaminated or the water you're getting is not as pure as fresh water. And this person has been telling me of every other thing that has been affecting her, except for the most important thing that could have saved a lot of things. Even aside from that, there are a lot of things that you might not be able to explain. Like yesterday, I was explaining to someone that you don't feed your snails with different feeds all at once. Use one feed at a time. If you're giving them formulated feed, let it be formulated feed. If you're giving them calcium, let it just be calcium, except for the days that you're mixing calcium and formulated feed together. Okay? Then if you're giving them fruit, let it just be one type of fruit. If you're giving them leaves, let it be one type of leaf so that if anything happens, we will know how to trace it. Okay? Most of you, okay, for those of you who went through my training this year, you will notice that the trainings on YouTube were posted since last year, or was it 2 years ago? Right? And as at then, there was nothing like watermelon killing snails. It was early this year that we discovered that watermelon, or was it late last year? We discovered that watermelons kill snails now because of the chemicals that they are using to plant watermelon. If you give watermelon to your snails, you will see some of them bloating, especially if you unluckily meet the ones that are contaminated. So now what we do is we give them the back of the snails, the back of the watermelon. Knowledge is progressive, right? We learn every day, which is why we're in this community. I love the community group for a reason, because the negative reports were just getting too much. And most of you who I even get snails from, I get snails from some of my students when I want to do supply. I get some snails from you. But when it is time to share testimonials, it's only the people that are having mortality in their farms that will be talking, making it look as if nobody is succeeding in the business. And majority of the people that were complaining about this mortality are people who experience it during this heat season. From November, in fact, October last year to like April this year, all of us can attest to the fact that the heat in Nigeria and in the world at large was something else. Down till April, some people were still some parts of the country, some parts of the world that experienced snow were still seeing snow, which is not normal, which is quite not normal at all. So now imagine what that would do to snails. Because truth be told, snails are even more fragile, right? Any little heat, they are gone. So what was I saying? Snail farming is a business. See it as a business. Okay? I have someone who built a house, right? Because his land was fallow, like there was nothing, no structure on the land. He built his house, fenced the land. What again? Put up a gate, which cost him roughly 5 to 6 million naira to put up all of that. I'm talking about aside from the building. I don't know about the building, but the fencing, the gates, and every other thing, almost 5 million naira, or if not more than. And then when it's time to start the snail farming, that made him to do all of that, he started with 200,000 naira. Was it? No, 150, 150,000 naira, starting with 100 pieces of snails. And then he is expecting to make back his 5 million, maybe 6 million naira. Does it make sense? It doesn't now. In fact, yes, I know you have to secure the snails, which is very important. But how can security for the business take more money than the business itself? And it is from this business you want to recover the money that you use in structuring the security. How many years do you want to run this business before you now gather back or get back the money that you use in structuring it? After like a year, he called me and like, ma, see what I spent, see what I'm getting. I say, how many snails did you start with? He say 100 snails. Are you being serious? Be truthful to yourself now. Does it work that way? It was after a year, you now say, okay, and let me do greenhouse and stop with 3,000 snails. Abba, you spent over 5 million naira structuring only the security. And then when it comes to the cocoa that will give you money, you're starting with 100,000. Hey, God. And you want to use 100,000 to fetch yourself 5 million naira or 6 million naira in no time. Abba now. Abba. Why am I saying this? Yes, you will put measures in place to preserve your snails. But please also place priority on the snails themselves, because it is the snails that will provide back that money that you have spent. If you're spending 200,000 naira to set up the structure that will accommodate your snails, that will secure your snails, what you should be spending for the snails themselves should be up to like 500. It shouldn't be less. It shouldn't be the other way around. So that you will get back your money in no time and even more. Right? Because like snails are fragile. Snails are first of all very slow growing animals. I know some of you who have received the point of lay, and some of, especially those who got point of lays from my outlet, they will say, "Ma, are you sure the snails these people supplied me are point of lays? The snails are very small." Oh, yes, they are point of lays. Point of lay snails. My point of lay snails are even up to 10 months. Some of them 11 months, but they are very small. Yes, they are very small. I'll call someone to bring some snails for me from my house farm here, so that you will see and know what I'm talking about. They are very small, yes. So when you see them, it is not about the size, it is about the fact that they are mature enough to start laying eggs in no time. Right? During the training, I talked about sexual maturity and physiological maturity. Point of lays are sexually mature mature, they are old enough to start laying eggs, but they are not physically big. So stop expecting them to be big. Point of lays are not big. Okay? Point of lays are not big at all. Before a snail will get to jumbo size, minimum 2 years. Minimum. So that is why I keep telling people, even when I do free trainings, if you know what you want or what you're looking at is getting a business that will fetch you income in the next 3 months, 4 months, no, snail farming is not for you. Snail farming will fetch you money, but it will take you time. Me, I love it because it is slow and steady business. Very slow, but very steady. Very slow but very steady. The only other livestock that can give you as many offsprings as snail and even more are fish. Apart from fish, snails are the highest laying, highest productive. Chicken, highest 4 5. Goat, 4 5. All right. um Still talking about the admonition. I'm saying all of this for majority of you who are yet to start and for those who have started already, so that when you see dead snails, you will not think that you're not doing things right. You can do everything right, you will still see dead snails. Okay? You will do everything right, to snails will still die. I still experience mortality, but not as much as you are experiencing it, because you're just starting. You're just starting out, so your experience cannot be like mine. It can't be like mine. No, no questions yet, please. Don't worry. When it's time for questions, you drop your questions, okay? Your experience cannot be like mine. It's not even possible. It's not. Because there are a lot of things you're learning that that is different from what I am experiencing. Sometimes because of weather conditions, because of tropical conditions, because of location differences. Was it yesterday I was telling someone that my snails in my farm that refuse to take in what's it called, purple leaves. People will buy snails from me, those same snails they will buy from me, and then they will give them purple leaves and those snails will be taking it. They refuse to take it. I will give them purple leaves and they will refuse. But some other persons who bought same snails from me that refuse to take purple leaves, which will get to another person's farm and it will be eating those snails, those purple leaves. It's funny. I don't even know how to explain that theory, but that's just it. What am I saying? There is a lot of things you will learn in the line of this business that Mary cannot teach you, that Mary has not even experienced. Okay? There are a lot of things. There are some of you who are teaching me new things, because there are some feeds that are it is that I learned that snails eat what's it called, pineapple barks very well. Me, I have not tried it. I've been doing it for years, does not mean I've tried everything. It's not an experiment. Okay? It's not something that I'm doing experiment with. Yes, there are some times we carry out some snails, take them aside and do experiments, but I cannot do experiment with all of my snails. That would be very foolish of me. Okay? So, please plan properly for your business. Since we know that snail farming is a business, plan adequately. Don't focus on only the security aspect, only the housing. Okay, yes, I'm spending this for construction of house. Some people will tell me I spent more than my budget for constructing of the houses, so I don't have much. Let me just start with 50 snails. This is a business. How can you use all the budget you have for housing, and then when it comes to the snails that will fetch you all the money that you used in building those housing, now you will now start with very little, and you know that those little, majority of them will die, and you expect to make good profit out of it? No, now, no. 1,000 times no. Capital no. So please plan your business properly. Is she sleeping? She's sleeping. Oh yeah, bring her inside. Or you want to sleep at there? Okay. Plan your business properly. Okay. Appropriate the right things for the right things, if that's even a word sef. Appropriate them rightly. Rightly divide your what's it called, your funds, and do the right thing. Okay, do it right. For some of you who who came to my house and found out that I do soilless farming too, well, I said I was going to talk about it during the live. Yes, I do soilless farming. I do soilless farming. I've been into it for a while now, for some years now, and I've not started teaching it because because I don't even know how much I want to charge for that soilless farming. I don't know. I don't know. Now, let me give you all a theory of how the soilless farming started in the first place. Soilless farming started for me though when I discovered that um when I experienced mortalities with my point of lay snails, my table size, my jumbo snails, when they lay eggs, right, and then the eggs hatch, and I remove my hatchlings, I usually keep them in a bucket or a basin without soil. Now, why do I do that? I discovered over the years that the soil is the thing that gives us 99.9% of the problems in snail farming, because it is from soil you will see, you will experience ants. It's from soil you will experience contaminations or infections or diseases that comes. Okay, in fact, if you get your soil right, you have gotten 90% of your snail farming right. So majority of the problem is from the soil. And then I discovered that when my hatchlings are in those basins where I give them usable mulching materials, I mean washable mulching materials that I can rewash and use, I discovered that I don't lose any at all. So over time, I was like, okay, let me use. I used like I think 200 hatchlings to experiment on that. So I started with that. I said, okay, this particular set of hatchlings, I'm going to groom them with the soilless. So at some point, I now did the hutch box system for my soilless. I was just monitoring it. I just kept on monitoring. These snails were growing. These snails were growing. They grew up to like, imagine 200 snails in 4 months. I experienced no mortality, not even one. I'm like, what is happening here? Should I just switch totally? But the truth is, you cannot do away with soil totally, because you still need the soil um for what's it called, for incubation, and you also still need the soil, especially when it comes to heat season, though it is still that soil that is killing them even during the heat season, oh. But like I said, when you get your soil texture right, you have gotten 90% of your snail farming right. So that was where soilless farming started for me about 3 or 4 years ago, and it's been good. Yes, it's been good. I'm putting some materials together to start teaching my soilless farming, but mm, okay, I might introduce you to my old students, but it's not free, oh. It's not going to be free. Anyways, most of you saw the video I posted in the community recently, where I was bringing out plates from a bucket where the eggs were incubated. I discovered that that method gives me like 90% hatchability. A lot of you who complained of your snails not hatching after incubation, you should know that the things you're not getting right. Maybe you're watering too much or you're not watering enough. Okay. Some persons will say the snails, the snail eggs, they hatch when I leave them in the parent stock pen, but when I remove them to incubate them separately, they don't hatch. Are you listening to yourself? That simply just tells you that there is something you're doing in the other pen that you're not doing in this other pen. because even the parent stock pen, you are the one still responsible for watering it, right? It's not as if you took it outside and allowed nature to do its work. No, you're still the one watering that pen, cleaning the pen. You're still the one doing everything that made it to arch in the pen where the point of lays are. Then when you remove it from that pen and then incubate it somewhere else, they are not arching. That means you're not doing something right. But you know, human beings, naturally, everybody wants to look for somebody to blame. Anyways, we've talked about the business aspect of it, how you need to take your business seriously. Those of you who are yet to start, please learn. Learn from those who have started, who did not do it the right way. If you have certain amount of money, appropriate your funds the right way. Okay? Don't do business like penny wise, pound foolish. No, now put it right. It is from this same business you will gather and get back all your expenses and make profit too. So invest very well in the business, not just in the process of the business. Things are very expensive right now, I know. Things are very expensive. That is why I keep hammering on the fact that it is a business. Right now, if you want to start a business in Nigeria, store alone will cost you more than 500,000, depending on your location though. Some places, even with that 500,000, you will not see any store. Before you now talk about the goods you want to stock in that your shop, then you talk about advertising. For those of you who want to advertise online, who wants to use a content creator to advertise, it costs money. It costs money. But when it comes to snail farming, because it is said that it is a lot cheaper to start snail farming, you just think that you can start with 50,000 naira and then start making millions. No, now, no, 1,000 times no. Majority of you, when you have your capital, the certain amount you have set aside, some of you call me and say, okay, this is what I have. How do I do this? I will now ask you to call a carpenter in your location, depending on the housing system you want to construct, though. If you want to use arch box, I will ask you to call a carpenter in your location and find out how much it will cost to get you the arch boxes. Because after then, that's when we will know what and what we're buying, how much snails you're buying. Majority of my, in fact, I can say that 50% of my students start with less than 500 snails. 50% of my students start with less than 500 snails. And these are people who say they want to start making millions in this business. And you know that these snails, some of them will die. You know, you know very well. And you also know that it takes time for these snails to grow. 50, more than 50% of my students, they will call me 200, 300, 100, 150, 200. And then out of that 100 now, because you're just starting out newly, some of them will even lose all of that 100. Some of them will lose all of the 100. Me, when I started my own snail farming, I started with 200 pieces. I lost everything. Started again with another 200, lost everything. Most of you know my story of how I started, right? I did not know anything called snail farming. I only bought snails and was reselling. Okay, physically though, I will buy from those who go to the bush to pick them and then resell. At some point, you know, you want to put your business online. I started advertising online that I have snails to sell. There is for those of you who don't know, I'm from Bayelsa, right? So there's a platform in Bayelsa we call Bayelsa Online. So I started advertising in Bayelsa Online, not even Facebook or TikTok or WhatsApp. I started advertising on Bayelsa Online, and then someone called me one day and asked me, do you have point of lays? I'm like, where did that one come from? So the person was like, the ones that are laying eggs now. Me, I didn't know anything. Yes, I see that the snails that I buy, they lay eggs, but I did not know that I have the ability to incubate those eggs and those eggs will hatch, right? right? I didn't know anything. So that was when I started my research, right? Just uh uh before, okay, yes, after the question, that was when I now saw someone's advert on Facebook. Yes, I saw someone's advert on Facebook about snail farm training. I'm like, is this even a word? I went for that. I did the training. I can count the number of trainings I went through, plus personal research that I did both on YouTube, on where again? Yeah, mostly YouTube though, mostly YouTube. Then I had about 3 or 4 different persons that I underwent trainings with. One person would promise one thing that I did not get from the other person, I will pay again. I spent a lot getting trainings, a lot getting trainings. And then I started. And this is like 7 years down the line, right? But like I said, um, you are getting trained by me does not mean you will have my kind of results overnight. All right? You should not be discouraged. The reason why I don't even tell people how many snails they need to get is because uh get what you want to get. Don't worry, start with it. Just get the amount you want to get and start with it. Because with time and with experience, you will learn better. Yes, you will learn better. I said it from the beginning. Income is not the first thing you expect from snail farming. Someone is asking, like, how many months or years can one be expecting to get income from snails? Did you even go through my trainings? If you did, I don't think this question is necessary. All right, let's talk about the 18 months challenge. Okay, sorry, my admonition is not over. The next part of my admonition is those of you who like to call me or send me messages telling me about you want to borrow money to start this business. Please don't. Please, oh, don't. Someone even called me last week, or was it last 2 weeks, telling me he wants to get it from the bank. Pass say yo, don't. First of all, just picture it, reason am. You want to get loan to start the business. When it is time to expand, because the snails will be laying for you, right? Let's take for instance, you start with 2 hutch boxes. Okay, you have your snails in one box, then the other box is for incubation and for your hatchlings. They will be laying, abi, they will be growing, some will be dying. Let's even assume that they didn't even die as a newbie with the experience, and you have enough. Where will you get extra money to expand your housing system? Where would you get it? You borrowed your first capital, so where do you want to get the remaining money? Or the bank will give you another money again when they have not even received the first one you borrowed. Please don't put yourself under pressure when it comes to snail farming. I have people who have learned, who have gone through this training, right? And for months they've not started. I have people who call me on a daily basis, like they are giving me the process to which they are going on. Someone paid me snail since last month, paid for snail since, sorry, since last year until this minute. Is this someone I be people sef? People paid for snails and feeds and every other thing since last year until this minute they've not collected it. Why? Their housing system is not ready. They decided, okay, the snails are the most important thing. Let me pay down for those ones. Then as money is coming into my hand, I am now building the houses. I have people who have done that. And which is actually the best. Take it slow. Don't be in a hurry. Don't put yourself under pressure. You see this money, all of us go make am. All of us they make am. Money dey this life before we come, and money go dey there while we go. So take it easy. No pressure. Don't go and borrow money from anybody to go and do this kind of business. It is not you bring 50,000, make 100,000 tomorrow. No, it's not that kind of business. By the way, those are not even business, those are Ponzi's. Most of us did it before we knew it was Ponzi schemes. But when it comes to business, it takes time, it takes energy, it takes hard work, it takes calculation, it takes preparation, it takes patience, most importantly. So long as a business, so except you want to do kalo kalo, you want to do yahoo. So long, even the yahoo papa, I'm very certain they cannot just start start the, let's say, talk to somebody today and then the person will give them money that very day. It will take time. It will take time to convince somebody to give you money. Everything that would profit you, whether good or bad, requires time and patience. I used to tell people, these people that say they are doing Yahoo, if they put that same energy into any particular business, they will succeed at it because they are very, very diligent. We see these things online now where they will say this one is where they are working and they have not slept for days. All through the night, they are up. If you can put that much energy in any other business, you will succeed at it. It's just that maybe they feel that one is quicker. Anyways, like I was saying, don't be in a hurry. Don't borrow money to start snail farming. I will never advise you wrongly. Don't, don't. I have people who call me that and say they want to start snail farming. I got your contact from one of your students. I want to start snail farming. Please, I want to buy so number of snails. I want to buy feed. I want to buy. The first thing I will ask is, have you been trained? Because even the ones that have been trained still have a lot to learn. Then talk about you that have not gotten any training at all. You will suffer the way I suffered when I started. And it will boil back to me because I was the one that sold snails for you. And me, I want to reduce the stress on my life as much as I can. I already have a lot of students who are calling me every day. Then I want to now add people who don't even have the knowledge about what I teach. That will be extra burden on me. Some of you, I read your messages and then I answer out of respect. Yes, out of respect, because majority of you don't even go through the trainings at all. Yes, you have paid and that's it. And I understand, because even me that's sitting here, I have some courses I have paid for that I've not gone through, but I will not go and be asking the moderator questions when I know I have not even gone through it. But most of you do that to me a lot. You've not even gone through the training and you're coming to ask me questions. So I should now use uh 10 minutes to answer uh questions that have been answered in the training that I did for hours. Is that even possible? It's not. Some of you who did your training some few months back, now that you want to start, I will advise you go back to the training, refresh your memory before you start. Because there are a lot of things you might have forgotten. We are human beings. It's normal, it's natural, right? Go back to the training. For this person who is asking which of the housing is best, there is no particular housing that is best. Like I said, please, the questions should hold on. Okay, we'll get to that. We will get to that. See what I'm talking about? Patience. Patience. Everybody should be patient. Be patient. Okay. I remember one of my training sessions where somebody was asking questions, because I usually tell people wait till at the end of the training. Okay, because as you're going through the training, some of your questions will be answered. So there was somebody that now asked the question, I think in day 3, and another person was like, is this how you want to do the business? Because I remember Madam Mary is always hammering on the fact that snail farming requires patience. So you don't want to be patient enough to even finish the training before you have started asking questions. And she said you should wait till the ending. Anyways, so that is that. Please don't borrow money to start snail farming. I will never advise you that. Never, never, never. It's not like I did it. Oh, no, I did not. But I'm just looking at the whole scenario. I'm looking at the way loans and borrowed monies go, and I know it's a no-no. It's a no-no. And then some of you say, uh, 5 of us want to put money together and start the business. Ensure that the 5 of you have gone through my training. Ensure, so that all of you will know the nitty gritties of the snail farming. Because It's not, I don't like having just financial partners. I like people who have the knowledge in any business I do. I like people who also have the knowledge of the business that I'm doing. You have the knowledge, you have the finances. Even if you will not be present in the day-to-day running of the business, you have the knowledge so that you will not put me under pressure. Me that is doing the day-to-day running. Don't put me under pressure. Imagine somebody gives you only money to do your business, to do this snail farming. The person is not aware of the way snails die, and then you go and tell the person, out of the 1,000 snails, about 200 have died. Oh. What do you think that person would think? Are you sure this person is even okay? Do you understand? But if the person has full knowledge of snail farming, the person will understand where you're coming from. There will be no talk like, are you sure this person is being truthful to me? The person understands the nature of snails. But if it's only a financial partner, you will be under pressure. You that is doing the running of the day-to-day runnings of the business. You're the one seeing the mortality. You're the one seeing everything that goes on in the farm. The other person, he or she, they don't put money. So the next minute now, make profits come, make I take my part. So please, those of you who you're going through the training, but there's some other person that wants to fund the business, please teach the person, or tell the person should also go through the training, even if the person will not do the business. Okay? All right. So that is that. Another thing, um, those of you who like to add fish farming or poultry to your snail farming, get ready, because when I want to teach my soilless farming, I'll be adding all of that as well. For the poultry, uh, I have someone who will come on board and teach. Okay, for the fishery, I know about that, so I can teach that one. But for poultry, I have someone who's an expert in it that I will bring on board to teach. So those of you who would like to include poultry, fishery to your snail farming, get ready. When it's time, I would inform you all. And those of you who would like to explore the soilless farming as well, trust me, you would enjoy it. You might not want to go back to soil farming, but like I said, we cannot do away with soil farming. We can't do away with it because we still need soil. Okay? All right. What's the next on our agenda? Okay, let's talk about our 18 months challenge. Those of you who are just joining us might not know, we have what we call 18 months challenge that was supposed to start some few months back, but I was heavily pregnant, and then I gave birth to my beautiful baby girl. And then I went on a 1 month break, got back, then she fell ill. um we've been running around ensuring that she's okay we now before I can fully get back to work. Okay, so the 18 months challenge was on pause, but now we are ready. Good thing those who are just joining us um will be able to join the 18 months challenge as well, because some of you did your trainings last month or last 2 months. Some of you got in through my affiliate programs. So some of you got through my affiliate program. So even when I was on break, the trainings were still ongoing. Um, Before I talk about the 18 months challenge, someone asked me to talk about this, so I will. Yes, I have people who do affiliate with my course, right? I have people even outside of Nigeria who runs affiliate programs with my courses. Okay. Some of you know me for only snail farming, but there are other things I do too. I also do trading. Okay, I also do forex trading, but that's by the way. But anyways, I have people who run affiliate programs with my courses. They run adverts and then get clients, and then when people make payment for the training, they have their share, I have my share, and then I take the people that they have brought in, train them, and then put them in my mentorship group. So, any of you would be interested in that, you can also start making money with that on the side while you're waiting for your snails to um, get matured and sell. That's for some of you who have social media experiences, because you will definitely need social media for your adverts, right? Then, for those of you who would like to do physical trainings as well, you can do that. That would also require adverts, maybe on radio, television, get locations. You just discuss with me to know when I can be free. But for the physical trainings, for now, they are all on hold, because I would like to wait till my daughter is at least 3 months and above before I start traveling. I have a lot of jobs on ground too that I've not been able to go for because she's still quite young for me to be traveling with. So for physical trainings, it will still be on hold for now. Even when she gets to 3 months, I already have some jobs lined up. So before I can do any other physical training, might be till maybe November or December. Okay, so like I said, for now, the physical trainings are on hold. All right, so I said, let me just say it for those of you who would have interest in running the affiliate programs. You can chat me up, then we'll talk more about it. So let's talk about the 18 months challenge. What does it entail? Since you did your training online for most of you, and I am not there with you physically, I like to hold you by you following what I do. All right? You do as I do. Okay? What I feed my snails with today is what you feed your snails with. How I water my pen is how you water your pen. When I'm changing mulching materials, you're changing mulching materials. Okay? When I'm doing my cleaning of the pen, you're doing the cleaning. When I'm tilling the ground, you're tilling the ground. Okay? So it's a do the way I do. This one is not do it yourself again. Do the way I do program. I call it 18 months challenge because we want to start from month A to month 18 and see the growth level, the mortalities we experience. If the day my snail will die, I would also inform you, right? In fact, not inform, you will see it live because I will be doing live sessions almost on a daily basis, right? But that will be the live sessions will be when I um maybe when my TikTok is fully ready. The TikTok is not fully ready. Okay, I don't know, but my live option is not available for the TikTok for now. So for now, we can be doing it maybe here on YouTube. Okay, when I'm cleaning, when my staff is cleaning, we just put the ring lights. You see what she's doing and how she's doing it. You follow suit. Okay, and then when we're feeding the snails in the evening as well, in fact in the morning while we're cleaning the snails, we'll talk about what we're feeding them for that day so that you get it ready, so that in the evening when we want to feed them, you do exactly what we're doing. Okay, while the session is going on, you're watching and you're doing it. Okay, let's say this kind of live now, you're seeing me, you're seeing what I'm doing, so you just do it the same way. It's just like you want to prepare a certain kind of food that you have not done before. You go on YouTube, you go and type it, and then you just look at, okay, she's putting so thing, yeah, you put that one, just like that. With that, you hardly get it wrong. Okay, you hardly get it wrong. So that 18 months challenge is starting tomorrow. Yes, we're beginning tomorrow. Like I said, we should have started long ago, but because of my break, and then because I needed time to take care of my daughter, I was just not available for a while. Okay. So the 18 months challenge is beginning tomorrow. All right, starting tomorrow, and we might not start in the morning, right? Might not start in the morning because I have not informed my staff of this filming. And also my ring light is bad, so I need to get another one tomorrow, so that we'll start from evening. So those of you who have gotten your snails, get ready. We're starting from tomorrow evening. Okay, we'll just come on live, and then you'll be seeing what she is doing, and then you follow suit. All right. And then apart from that, um what else? Okay, those of you who have paid already, that were waiting for the live for the 18 months challenge to begin before you get your snails, now is the time. You need to call the number sent to you, and then get your product so that we can start. Okay, so we can start. But then I also want to do something. Okay, I also want to do something. I want to give kind of like a breakdown of the startup process again, because I know most of you, even though I say you should go back to the training, you know, yeah, you will not do it. So let me just help majority of you. We'll take it one step at a time, like what you need to do before you start. Okay, so tomorrow morning I'll post a video. When I post it, I will let you know where I'll post it for now. But when I post it, I will let you know. You go and watch it and see what and what right? What do you do first? What do you do second? What do you do third? What do you do next? You know, just one step at a time for the setup process. That's what I will be posting. Like I said, when I post it, I will let you know where it is